Right, you are looking at the daily chart of the S&Ps at with 2 hours to go into the close of the session here on Wednesday the 23rd. My name is Mike Hamilton for Trade the Easy Way, and I'm just going to walk you through what I'm seeing in these charts. So we had a decent push up here. Now we are meeting some resistance. I'm seeing this potentially going back to through this 4,500 and into that resistance, maybe a full move into that 4,600. So I think these lows are still viable. We now look at the Dow. This has hit a major resistance. This hit the drop zone from the 16th of Feb, and it's pulling back on itself. So if we close here and can't pick up from here, then this is going to come lower. We're going to start to fall right back into this early March area. FTSE. Very similar. So they've all moved into, this is actually 2021 highs. So we close under here, that is spelling some lower moves in that FTSE if we can't hold this and we start to drift right back. We had significant volume here on the 15th, ever since the volume has been dropping off. So the drop off in volume to me symbolises that that market needs to potentially come lower. So I'm just going to look in a little bit of profit on the trade I've got going. So let's have a look at the volatility index. Slumped down to these levels. Let's tidy this up because that is a mess. So if this holds lower, that bodes well for the indices. As long as we can stay low and come lower, that bodes well for a push higher in the indices. Let's have a look at oil. Excuse me while I get this all sorted out. Oil is sitting up in this support. I think we've got the potential to go back to 112. So if we close here, I would try and buy 110 and then see if that can lift us up. All the time we're above this structure, we are potentially higher. Okay, so I will continue to buy dips in the oil. Let's look at gold. Yeah, I think this consolidation is over now, and we can expect some higher push back to 1960 plus. So again, I think there's plenty of time to get in this. Doesn't seem to be in a hurry to push higher. So if we get an opportunity to buy that support down there at about 1925 tomorrow, 1928, I would expect to see that grind back up to those highs. And let's look at the dollar index. So sitting up high, a lot of the way Fed Chair Powell is talking, we look as if we could be heading for a couple of rate rises before mid-year, before end of June. So that looks good for higher moves. Right, let's move a bit quicker. We've got FTSE we've looked at, oil we've looked at. Let's have a look at some stocks now. Continuing to sit in this IQE, we've seen increase in volume today. So after you can see my projections, I'm looking for potentially 55 up here. If we can see an increase in volume and obviously continual higher price in that one. So we need to break out of this little area that we're in on IQE. Let's see if that can push higher. Rolls-Royce is lower. Volume has been okay the last couple of days. Now this is a bullish consolidation. Coming lower is no big deal. Coming lower is normal in a bullish consolidation. So if we come into sort of 90, 91 and hold, that might then be the trigger for this to go up. If it's a bearish consolidation, obviously we will keep closing lower and drop. But I think this is a good stock. Obviously, the jury is out while that continues to close lower. QQ, I got out and I'm happy to stay out at the moment. ASOS, wow, this is rubbish. It's coming down the volume. So this is just not doing it. This trend line underneath it, so we've got it. Got to start closing higher. We're sitting in this range from the 7th of March, but going nowhere at the moment. Let's look at. I've been liking these. So this has had a good run. I think this is wave one. Nice impulse wave. So if wave two takes us back to 107, which is possible, then we could start to climb up, and ultimately, if this works, it may end up back at 150 and higher. So happy to let this drift lower for now, and then looking to pick up. The volumes have completely fallen off. This is Elementis. Gem Diamonds is sitting up. TLPRT had a huge, lovely move. Sorry, let me just get rid of this. Okay, so any pullbacks in this one are still viable. This one is really like the volume down here. So we had a wave one, wave two pullback, and then wave three. Look as if we're heading up to these highs. On TPI cap, and this is a similar one. Man Group. This has already had a decent run, so this could fall back into £2.210 on Man Group EMG. And these are the kinds of stocks I like. They're food related. These last two, Man Group and TPI cap, are commodity brokers. And since we are in a commodity super cycle, they are well worth looking at. Tullow has recovered on this pullback to 45, I think the next time we've really struggled with these highs. Close above it, immediately close lower. I think if we build here on volume, the volume picks up. I think Tullow could go back up to those highs and potentially end up the year at 78 plus. Okay, well that's it for now. Thank you for joining me. There'll be a fuller, comprehensive rundown on Sunday. Contact me at tradeeasyway.com if you haven't got a link for that. Otherwise, have a safe week and see you on Sunday. Sorry, I've just remembered it's on Monday now. Correction, it's all on Monday. I'll make sure that's all set up